All right, thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. Welcome back. I have no idea what happened in my previous video. I have no idea. All right, but just I wanted to do this video really quick. We'll see how long it goes. I'm not going to share the screen like I wanted to because I think that's what caused it. So we're not going to go there. All right. I don't know what the hell happened, but the chat will be up. You guys should be in the chat, but I cannot share it on the screen. I don't know what happened, man. I mean, it's like I had like 10 people live and then boom, it just went out. What the hell's going on? I was like, what the hell is going on over here? Right? So I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna put the chat on the screen. Okay, we're gonna have to sort that shit out. So I don't know what the hell happened. All right? I don't know. If you're watching archive, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Make sure you guys thumbs up the video. Support the channel. Chat is open for those watching live, as I mentioned. All right. Also, make sure you hit that notifications button. It'll notify when DStyleBoxing comes on live around this time during weekdays. You know, sometimes during the day on weekends, etc. Very impromptu. I don't have a set time. It doesn't work that way with DStyle. But if you miss it, it's okay because we always got archive. Now let's check this out. Right. So you guys saw my video earlier. If you haven't, check it out. Right. I want to address somebody here. Right. So I was watching one of his videos and I go, okay. So I listened to what he had to say and here I am. Right. I'm here responding to a channel, J. Cotto, blood pressure medications, effects of the medication. If you want to listen to the whole thing, you can check it out. By the way, fair use. All right, just putting that out there. Check this out. All right, let's put it this way. So I'm going to play the opening part of this video. I'm not really going to play the rest. Okay. Just because if you want to listen to the rest, you can go listen to it yourselves. All right. But this beginning part to me is all I need to play. I don't need to play more than that. Okay, to make my point. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's check it out.
What's up, fight fans? I'm Jay Cotto. Welcome to Jay Cotto's Fight Page. And well, I'm just basically gonna tell you like this. You know what I mean? Yesterday, like about, what was it, 11:30 or something like that, I told you guys that I was on blood pressure medication, right? Okay, well, here it is. Verampamil. This is what I'm on. See that? That's my first name, my last name, Verampamil. Okay? Now, how the fuck is this a PED? Like fucking bullshit ass Wilder and the bullshit ass WBC claim. How can this be a diuretic or anything as to cleaning out your system when this shit causes dizziness?
All right. Never mind the fact that it says it may cause dizziness. Let's never mind that fact. As I look at the picture of that video, but let's nonetheless point taken. Right. Here's what I want to say. Right. Nobody, and I at least haven't heard anybody say that blood pressure medication is a PED. I haven't heard anybody say that. Right. And by the way, Wilder didn't say blood pressure medication is a PED. Neither did the WBC. That is an inaccurate statement, bro. Right? That's not true. The WBC doesn't decide first of all, they don't decide what's a PED and what isn't. Okay. Second of all, they didn't claim that blood pressure medicine is a PED. Right? Neither did Wilder. Wilder doesn't decide what's in the ban list and what isn't in the ban list. Okay. Wilder, I don't know why you guys think he has this type of power. Okay. You guys talk about people over exaggerating the power of Wilder, but I mean, when they're talking about the power of his fist, um, delivering a punch in somebody's face, but you guys, I mean, the power that you claim Deontay Wilder has is unbelievable. I mean, you guys think he writes that he could dictate what's banned, what isn't banned, that he has the ability to have people just contaminate people's you know, blood test and urine test, and he has the ability to control VADA and WADA and all this shit, right? I mean, Wilder has these unbelievable powers. I mean, as far as the power to do these things, right? Unbelievable. The WBC and Wilder do not dictate what's illegal and not legal. And by the way, they never claim that the blood pressure medicine is a PED. No one's ever claimed that. And I think that's where you're confused. Now, first of all, let's get the dizziness, and that's your specific medication, okay? And it says it may cause dizziness. Okay, that's called side effects. All drugs prescribed by doctors are required to list the side effects, okay? That's to avoid lawsuits and stuff, and because it's possible different people have different side effects to different drugs. Okay, that's number one. Number two, just because Luis Ortiz says okay he has blood pressure problems doesn't necessarily mean he does. All right, let's say that's up for debate. The next thing, if he's taking medicine that makes him dizzy and it's very necessary for him to take it, why is he boxing then? He shouldn't be fighting. He's not healthy enough to box. Okay, he's not gonna be able to pass a physical if he's getting dizzy all the time from medications. All right. But furthermore, those are just side points. All right, those are just side points. Let's talk about what is the PED. All right, there is already a list of things, many things that are banned because, and by the way, there's things that aren't on the list, okay? PEDs are so advanced that the testing is easily a couple years behind. Okay, let's keep that in mind. The reason certain, let's call them the elements, okay? Let's call them substances, okay? The reason certain substances are banned, while they're banned for a reason, okay? Now let's talk about one reason may be because they're just illegal, like cocaine, for example, right? But now that's not the case here, okay? But aside from that, a lot of things are used as masking agents, okay? Not everything is a direct diuretic. Not everything is a direct PD, but they're used as masking agents, all right? Now, nobody's saying that just by taking blood pressure medicine alone that makes it a PED, right? It's just that when they give you a list of different things, all right? The reason you have a list, and this is, by the way, WADA. This is not the WBC, and this is not Wilder. Wilder did not write the list. Okay, Wilder didn't do some investigation and find out that Ortiz is a high blood pressure medication patient, right? And then decide to put that on the ban list to get out of this fight. That's not what happened. Okay, and it's very elementary to make it seem that way. All right, let's just make that very clear. But but let's be very clear here. All right. Everyone is required and has the opportunity to put down what they're taking, okay? And the reason you do that is so in case, let's say you're having to take a medication, you get an exemption from something popping positive, right? Like, for example, I don't know, hey, I'm taking a medication for this. It's not for PD performance reasons. It's for X reason, all right? Now, it just so happens, it's just an awful big coincidence, right, that the blood pressure medicine that Luis Ortiz allegedly is taking, right, it just so happens that blood pressure medicine has substances that are on the ban list on WADA. and they're on that list for a reason. They didn't just put it there for kicks. Okay. The substances on they are illegal, right, for a reason. Now it just so happens that he popped positive for one of those substances, and his excuse is, oh, it's because the substance is in my high blood pressure medication. Now let's say that's 100% true. The reason you disclose that, well, reason number one, how high was the amount that he had? Because if you get an exemption, they only exempt you for so much. Like, they don't give you like an unlimited amount of whatever that substance is, right? They want to know, okay, so if you're going to be taking this high blood pressure medicine, and let's say we approve it for whatever reason, okay, then whenever you do a test, a urine or blood test, then it cannot be more than this certain amount, because you're taking a blood pressure medicine on a schedule. Okay, when the doctor prescribes it to you, they tell you how many times to take it per day. Okay, so there's only so much that could be in your system at any given time, right? These are the reason you have to do these exemptions, right? So you get these questions. Now, it seems pretty odd to me that they did not put this down. They put everything else down. And everybody's talking about, well, Luis Ortiz doesn't speak English or Spanish. Well, Luis Ortiz somehow got the fight sign. When it came down to negotiating the money and getting paid, I mean, he didn't have a problem with that. There's people that didn't have a problem signing those papers. Okay, when it came down to making the fight happen, they didn't have any problem getting those papers signed. I'm pretty sure they didn't have an issue with that. But it is Luis Ortiz's, okay, responsibility, okay, and his people to go ahead and, put this information down. Now, I don't know much about VADA, but if they're like most companies, right, I don't know if this is the case with VADA, probably not, but there's a possibility they may have Spanish paperwork too. But let's say they don't, right? Let's say that's not the case. My only point of this video is that saying that in any way, shape, or form that they're calling the blood pressure medicine the PD, okay? That's not what they're calling the PED. Now, here's the reason you need to disclose this shit. Number one, you don't know if Luis Ortiz is actually putting this shit in his mouth and with a sip of water and every day. You don't know if he's taking that blood pressure medicine. We don't know. Nobody knows that. I don't know if he is. You don't know if he isn't. No, nobody knows, right? So if he doesn't disclose it and these substances pop in the system, why do we just have to take his word for it if he didn't disclose it prior? For what reason? Why do we have to give him the benefit of the doubt? For what reason? Now, here's the thing. Well, a doctor gave it to him. And like everybody wants to, let me put it this way. Everybody wants to become this huge conspiracy theorist. Wilder is making fighters pop dirty, and like Wilder has all this power, right? Al Heyman's involved, and the WBC is protecting Wilder, and this elaborate conspiracy, right? But nobody stops and thinks that they could have easily just gotten this doctor to just write that prescription, right? Do you guys think that like doctors have a hard time writing out prescriptions? No. Doctors get paid for the prescription that they give out. Okay? They have, sweet deals with certain pharmaceutical companies. All right? Let's be honest. If I want to get high blood pressure medicine, I can do it. I don't need it right now, but I can go get it. Right? I can go tomorrow, okay, and I can find a way to do it. Just like, one time I needed 2 weeks off of work and the doctor hooked it up, right? There's things, don't tell me it's not possible. No, but come on, the doctors, they're such good people. They wouldn't do that. Like, yeah, okay, right? Sure, okay, right. Look, man, okay, like doctors can't be paid off. Okay, sure. So you want to believe. So it's one or the other. Either Luis Ortiz has a serious high blood pressure problem and shouldn't be boxing, or he's bullshitting. It's one or the other, right? There's no in between here. Usually I'm all about nuance and the in betweens, but right here there is no in between. Either Luis Ortiz is going to the ER for doing everyday shit, like they're talking, like they're saying this, like he went to the ER, and anybody go to the ER and say, "Oh, I feel like shit." Like anybody could do that, right? You can take shit that will make your blood pressure go high. Okay, go to the ER and you'll be prescribed blood pressure medicine. Okay, that shit could be done. Okay, there's people that do it to get time off of work, to get FMLA, okay, to get short-term disability. There's people that do these things. You're telling me that Luis Ortiz couldn't have just gotten this drug? No, look, I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying that it's an awful big coincidence, right? That the substances that are banned on the list just so happen, okay, to be in his high blood pressure medicine. And then the other big coincidence, they just forgot. Oh, we didn't think it was important. We weren't thinking about nutrition and what he eats for food, and we weren't thinking about the medication. Come on now, right? Come on. It's like that shit the Russians were taking. Well, I forgot the name of that shit. Okay, that Povekin was taking. That shit is for heart patients. All right. Now, nobody's saying that every Russian athlete is having a cardiac arrest, right? But that's actually the ironic part. Like, why are they taking this stuff, okay, at such a high rate, or why were they, okay, allegedly now, still? For what reason? Okay, you have to question these things, right? Now, with that said, all right, with that said, anybody who believes that Wilder and the WBC decide what's legal and not legal, okay, that's just incorrect. You're wrong. Okay, like there's no that's not up for debate. That's factually wrong. That's not true. All right. You guys want to believe all the possible conspiracies. You're giving me all these elaborate conspiracies for Wilder to conduct Ortiz. Okay, I seen Ortiz fight. Right. I know a lot of dudes are like praising this guy, and oh, Ortiz, and I'm not the right guy to say you're just by. Let me tell you something, man. Right. I'm a big fan of Cuban fighters. Rigondeaux, Lara, Solis, I liked him. Casamayor, I was a big fan. I look at Ortiz, I'm not saying he's a terrible fighter, but that's not the type of fighter, okay, that you do these elaborate, shits for. And then him getting the benefit of the doubt. Like, this shit's insane, okay? Oh, come on. He got caught before. He wouldn't be stupid enough to do it again. Really? Being caught before isn't like that's not a good defense, That's not, this is stupid. It's like if you're caught for armed robbery, all right, and then they catch you again, and you claim, "I wasn't trying to rob the bank." Come on, why would I try to rob the bank again? I did it before. I wouldn't be stupid enough to do it again. That's not a good defense. It's a weak defense. Come on. Seriously. And by the way, let me just make this very clear. For anybody, let me just make this very clear, okay? Before anybody says, oh, you're just a Wilder fanboy, let me make this clear right now. You know who I had winning the Wilder-Povetkin fight? DStyleBoxing predicted that Povetkin would win, okay? You know who I've said would win Joshua versus Wilder? I've said Joshua would win, right? So this is not about me being a fanboy of Wilder. Okay, that has nothing to do with that. It's just that these reasons you're giving me, they're weak. They're extreme. It's just weak. It's weak to say, oh, Wilder and WBC, they want to dictate terms. Now they're making blood pressure medicine illegal. That's not what they're doing, right? That's not what they're doing at all. Okay, and back to the to the point that he made about the side effects, okay? That it may cause dizziness. Well, that's first of all, that's your prescription, right? But there's medicine, like let's put like over the counter, let's or prescribed by doctor aside, okay? Something simple as Tylenol, all right? Something as simple as Tylenol puts people to sleep. Tylenol doesn't do shit to me. All right. Like literally, when I have pain, whatever, if I have pain, if I have Tylenol does nothing. Like it literally has no effect on me whatsoever. Right? Advil does. Advil knocks me the fuck out. Okay, like I'm slept the way fucking Marquez slept Pacquiao. Like in 30 minutes, he styles out. Like Advil knocks me the fuck out. Right? Like Marquez on Pacquiao style. Like that. I'm just out. Okay. Tylenol, like it's just side effects are side effects, bro. Right? And so we can't take that as some type of evidence of because you're not making. If I'm honest, you're not making sense. So by your logic, Ortiz is having to take medication that makes him dizzy, right? Then he shouldn't be fighting, bro. Then he shouldn't be fighting, right? With that medication you're taking, I used to work construction, all right? Way back in the day with my uncles, right? I wouldn't have you working in the roof, bro, right? If you were taking that medication. I wouldn't do it. If something happens to you, okay, if my uncle's company would get fucking sued. You really think they're going to allow, okay, fighters have physicals for a reason, okay? If they're taking a medication that makes them dizzy, really, bro? Like you think he belongs in the boxing ring with any fighter, much less one of the world champions right now, regardless if you think he's a weak champion, he's a champion nonetheless, okay? I'm just saying. And if Jay Cotto wants to come on live with DStyle, I will invite him on all day, every day, right? I'm just saying that right now. Just saying. Let's see if I can look at the chat really quick, because, yeah. Still loading. All right, so there we go. Red Fox saying every athlete's doing shit, yada yada yada. Well, you know, if it's a game of catch me if you can, Ortiz is way behind that game because he's already gotten caught twice. So I'm just saying. Anyways, guys, that's all I gotta say, man. That's all I gotta say. Now somebody mentioned, let's see, Morales. The Morales situation, okay, is a little different. And let me tell you something. I'm very familiar with the Morales situation, right? You know why I'm very familiar with the Morales situation? Because at the time, I was involved with a website called Hailstormsports.com, and we're the ones that broke the story, all right? So what happened in the Morales situation is that USADA, in this case, caught Morales, right? The difference here is that USADA didn't tell anybody, right? They told the promoter, Golden Boy. Golden Boy, okay, had, and this was through 3 sources, by the way. 3 sources that had no connection with one another, right? All right. I don't know how they had agreed to this, but exactly. But I do know that the Garcia camp was pissed off, but they were going to go ahead and go with the fight, right? But then when the story broke out, number one, interesting enough, I'm actually not the one that called the I think it was Calix that called the New York State Athletic Commission. All right, the commission knew nothing about it, nothing. All right, they knew nada. So we released the story. Fight Hype rips us off, and we know for a fact Fight Hype couldn't have broken the story because who the sources were. There's no way Fight Hype could have known. But they just went along with our story. But anyway, nonetheless, that story got out there. Eric Morales obviously denied it. And then it turned out to be true. And then, yes, they went on and had the fight anyway. But that was literally at the eve of the fight. Okay, so it's a little different here. Different scenario. But see, that one, it wasn't the USADA hiding anything. That was Golden Boy. That was a promoter, right? That was all the promoter, right? And I know that for a fact, right? So I'm just saying. Now, and I'm the one that wrote the article and posted the article on the website, all right? Now, with that said, the WBC still sanctioned the fight because the WBC did not have the ties like it does now, bro. The WBC made an agreement with VADA later, right? So now VADA directly reports to the WBC the results. It was different back then. This was the promoter doing it. This wasn't right anything other than that. That's what that was. And I'm pretty sure Golden Boy told Garcia, "Hey, if you could do us a favor, let's get the fight done anyway, and we'll sort something else financially." What exactly they sorted out, I'm not sure about that. The Garcia camp wasn't exactly happy about it, but they did go along with it. Just making that clear. That the of course they're very similar, but the circumstances were very different. All right, so Red Fox says, so it's only now the WBC decides to rule out fights based on PEDs. Well, first of all, let's be honest. The WBC makes shit up as they go. Okay, right. It's the WBC is not consistent, and we all know that. None of the sanctioning bodies are consistent, right? If you're asking me if the Morales fight with Garcia should have gone on, no, it shouldn't have gone on. Okay, that may not be a popular answer for people that had tickets and had flown over there and made plans to go to the fight. And maybe not a popular answer for Garcia that was going to get paid a lot of money for that fight, right? If and especially if he was heavily favored to win as well. Okay, I mean it was Morales or some of the other killers in that weight class, So it's like he knew what he was doing, right? I mean that fight was a mismatch to begin with. Okay, let's just make that very clear, right? Now it doesn't excuse the fact that Morales cheated, right? Um, it doesn't excuse that fact, but I'm just putting that out there. So look, I'm not here to say, oh, the WBC is consistent, this, that, and third. What I do know is that the relationship with VADA right now is far closer and direct than it was back when Golden Boy was having USADA do their fights. That I do know, right? And for those wondering, no, we cannot release the sources, right? It turned out to be true that's enough, right? The problem is that if they let the fight go through, the most prolific belt in boxing, WBC, well, I don't know about that, but that's an opinion. But anyway, WBC heavyweight title, it sets a nasty precedent for the future, and it might bring boxing into this, dispute. Yeah, I agree. Red Fox, Francisco Vargas passed for his fight with Salido some clenbuterol and a tainted meat excuse. Now, keep in mind, just because some fighters say, all right, he popped dirty, I'll fight him anyway, right? It doesn't mean every fighter is required to do that, right? If a fighter says, look, that guy popped dirty, I don't want to fight him, right? I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm just making that clear right now, right? Because if we expect fighters to fight fighters anyway when they pop dirty, then what's the point of fucking testing, right? In my opinion, if the opponent says, look, I'll fight him anyway, they should do it, but that's my opinion, right? So I'm just saying. The WBC doesn't have a problem replacing Ortiz because they're going to make about the same amount of money, okay? Whether Ortiz or Stavern, they don't care. If Ortiz was a far bigger name, more than likely, we all know they wouldn't have, canceled the fight, okay? If Wilder was all right with the opponent, but what are you going to do? But what I do know is that the WBC does not decide what's illegal, okay, and what's not illegal. That I do know, and I know that neither does Wilder, and I know that nobody's arguing that the actual blood pressure medication, right, is what's illegal. That's not what people are arguing, and that's my only point of this video. I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. I don't think I have much else to say, to be honest. But I want to thank everybody that joined me on here. Red Fox is true. Wada does. Yes, you do. All I know is that I make this lesson learned for all fighters. That if you're taking any type of medication, be transparent. Okay, give out the information. Right. If you're a fighter that speaks a foreign language, then have the right people around you, or request paperwork that's you know makes sense with your language, whatever it is. Okay, I'm just saying, like, there's ways to get that done. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.